Hello, Big Boy Toby here, back with another YouTube video. Today, as you read from the title, we're going to talk about learned mental health. This title is probably going to be Let's Talk About Mental Health, or why mental health is important. So this is not scripted, this is my opinions and what I think he did. The reason why I'm doing this video, because I did this video a year ago, more than 2 years ago, and I deleted it because I wanted to remake it. And for years, I've been wanting to remake it, but I haven't been motivated to remake it, which is also something with mental health. Recently, I was watching a 24-hour V.League video, and they did a video about mental health. That made me want to do it again. So this video is about mental health. I'm going to use my opinions about mental health, and I'm going to have Dola, which is an AI assistant, to give her some facts about mental health. So that will be play after the video of me talking about my opinions about mental health. I feel like the worst mental health that's not really talked about, in my opinion, is men's mental health. Because I don't know why. It's just a stigma that men's mental health is not talked about. And that's backed up with the fact that I think I'll put the right amount here. But about 70% of suicides are males. And I feel like if mental health was talked about and it's something that is encouraging schools to talk about men's mental health and mental health in general, mental health was talked about when I was in school. I remember we did assemblies about mental health and all that. Okay, and about cyberbullying and all that. But if mental health is more talked about here, I feel like as a creator, this is my opinion. I feel like as a creator, it's your job to talk about mental health. And if you're a man or a woman, it's your job to talk about mental health. If you have, especially if you have a big following, the bigger your following, the more likely it is that your video about mental health gets out to millions of people. Because mental health is, pardon my French, it's a fucker. And it's something that we all have to deal with from time to time. Like, everyone, even the greatest of people, like the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, guys like Jeff Bezos, Tom Holland, who wanted to play Spider-Man and wanted to play Uncharted, and because of his mental health and how he portrays himself and how his mental health drives him to work hard and work smarter, he was able to play an Enchanted movie, and with and he wanted to play Spider-Man. And one other thing he mentioned, he wanted to play with a movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, and he did that in Spider-Man, and where Jake Gyllenhaal played Mysterio, and Spider-Man and was played by Tom Holland. Um, I feel like having a strong mindset is important, and how to bring a strong mindset in people, in men and women, children and everyone, is to be able to talk about mental health. A great point from that video is that from the V.League video is that if you are suffering from mental health or you know anyone that's suffering from mental health, talk about it. And every time your family, just talk about mental health, right? Because you never know that family member that's suffering from mental health silently and is not saying anything. If you talk about it, if you talk about it when you're having like family gatherings, that one that's thinking about mental health will be like hopefully encouraged to open up about his mental health, and you can save his life, or yeah. There's so many people that commit suicides, and it's mainly because of mental health. They feel like they can't go on. They feel like the world doesn't need them. They feel like they're better off. They're going through hard times. But if you see someone and the main people that go for mental health are the people that are always happy, right? People that always present themselves as happy. That's the main people that are actually going for mental health. Um, there's a TikToker, Tucker General, or Tucker Janelle, or however you say it, who unfortunately committed suicide because of his mental health issues, and that took a heavy toll on the family of yeah. There's another TikToker, this black, I don't remember his name, um, this black tech YouTuber that also committed suicide because of his mental health battles. But talking about mental health is really important. Um, that's all I have to say really. I know this may be a short video, but it's a necessary video. Um, if you want me to do live videos where we talk about mental health videos, like people comment what their mental health situations, and I kind of say my opinion and what I think you should do about it, let me know, and I can do a live video every Saturday at a certain time to just talk about mental health, just to bring about awareness. Every time my videos are uploaded on computer, not mobile, uploaded to computer, in the description there will be a link to this Samaritans and a few mental health keys here. And they will be on mobile once YouTube allows you to put upload defaults. Upload defaults is basically where you put what the default description. Upload defaults on mobile, which I think they should do. They should add upload defaults on if you upload through the YouTube Studio app or the YouTube app. So thank you very much for watching this video. Again, my normal intro. Bye and peace. And also, as I say sometimes when I'm making new videos, so yeah, we go.
Mental health is a fundamental part of overall well-being, yet it remains one of the most misunderstood areas of healthcare. As of 2026, data from the World Health Organization and other major health bodies highlight both the scale of the challenge and the potential for recovery. Key global statistics. Prevalence. Approximately 1 in 7 people live with a mental health condition. Most common disorders. Anxiety and depression are the leading conditions worldwide. In 2026, reports indicate that over 1 billion people are living with these specific issues. Economic impact. Mental health conditions cost the global economy over $1 trillion annually in lost productivity. Youth impact. Mental health issues often begin early. 50% of all mental illnesses start by age 14, and 75% occur by age 24. Common myths versus facts. 1. Myth. Mental health problems are a sign of weakness. Fact. Mental health conditions are medical disorders caused by a complex interaction of genetics, biology, and life experiences. Seeking help is a sign of resilience, not weakness. 2. Myth. People with mental illnesses are violent. Fact. The vast majority of people with mental health conditions are no more likely to be violent than anyone else. In fact, they are 10 times more likely to be victims of violent crime. 3. Myth. You can just snap out of it with willpower. Fact. You cannot simply will away a mental illness any more than you can will away diabetes. Professional treatment, such as therapy or medication, is often necessary for recovery. The treatment gap. Despite the availability of effective treatments, a significant treatment gap persists. In high-income countries, roughly 50% of people with serious mental illness receive treatment. In low- and middle-income countries, this number can drop to below 25%, often due to a lack of resources and social stigma. On average, countries spend less than 2% of their national health budgets on mental health. Why 2026 is a critical year. Current trends show that climate anxiety and digital burnout are rising stressors, particularly for Gen Z. However, public awareness is also at an all-time high, with more people than ever incorporating mental health goals into their daily lives. Would you like to know about specific resources for seeking help or tips for maintaining mental well-being in daily life? Mental well-being tips. Maintaining mental health is a proactive process. Here are some evidence-based strategies for daily life. The 5 ways to well-being. 1. Connect. Build and maintain strong relationships with friends, family, and colleagues. 2. Be active. Regular physical activity, even a 20-minute walk, releases endorphins that boost mood. 3. Take notice. Practice mindfulness or grounding exercises to stay present and reduce anxiety. 4. Learn. Picking up a new skill or hobby can increase self-esteem and give you a sense of purpose. 5. Give. Small acts of kindness, like volunteering or helping a neighbor, improve social connection and happiness. Sleep hygiene. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Poor sleep is directly linked to increased stress and emotional instability. Digital boundaries. Set no-phone zones or times. Excessive screen time, especially on social media, can trigger feelings of inadequacy or burnout. Seeking professional help. If you or someone you know is struggling, reaching out to a professional is the most effective step. Primary care. Your local GP is usually the first point of contact for a referral to a therapist or counselor. Crisis hotlines. NHS 111. Dial 111 for urgent mental health support. Samaritans. Call 116,123 for confidential emotional support. Shout. Text SHOUT to 85,258 for support via text message. Mind. Provides an info line to help find local services. Therapy options. Cognitive behavioral therapy is highly effective for anxiety and depression and can often be accessed through the NHS or private providers. How to support someone else. If you are worried about a friend or family member, listen without judgment. You don't need to have the answers. Just being there and listening helps more than you think. Ask directly. If you are worried about their safety, it is okay to ask, "Are you having thoughts of hurting yourself?" This does not put ideas in their head, but often provides a relief that someone noticed. Encourage action. Offer to go with them to a doctor's appointment or help them look up local support groups. Are there specific challenges you'd like to focus on, such as managing workplace stress or building a mindfulness routine?